Praise Yahweh. You know, I had this song to sing, and Stevie and take it away. So maybe I'll have to find another one later on. Praise Father Yahweh for everything. So we get the adrenaline pumping and we're ready. We give him thanks because he is thankworthy. We're now going to be having our evening reading. And our evening reading will be taken from Proverbs 8:22 to 36. Proverbs 8:22 to 36. And we will read it together. Are we there yet? Proverbs 8:22 to 36. We read together. Yahweh possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there was no depth, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set upon the face of the deep, when he established the cloud above, when he strengthened the fountain of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree, that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth. Then I was by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men. Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction, and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of Yahweh. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love him. Who is going to help me to tell me who was speaking here? It says, Yahweh possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning of ever. He was there when he created the depths and everything. Who you said, Jaden? Yeshua. So he was there from the beginning. He was with his father. And he's just saying us, and these words, as we know, penned by Solomon through inspiration. If we don't love him, we hate them. We love them. And I don't think anybody here love them. So we want to love Yeshua, love his Father Yahweh, so that we may have life and have it more abundantly. So we will now make way for our evening exhortation, and this will be done by Brother T.J. Samuel.
Greetings. Today we ought to give Father thanks and praise for bringing us throughout another week, to another Sabbath, for sparing our lives to see this yet another day. So, for all that Father has done for us, we ought to give him thanks and praise, right? So now let us just stand and we'll sing Father Abraham. Yes, guys, we're standing and we're singing Father Abraham. Let us pray. Most kind and compassionate Father, as we close mercy once more, I want to give you thanks and praise for this yet another day. And I thank you for bringing us to another six days of work and to this your Sabbath year first, Father. Father, we know that it's not because of anything good that we have done while you're here, but because of your grace and your mercies. I want to thank you for that also, and I thank you for your keeping care. And I thank you for waking us up this morning in our right minds and with all our living intact. And I thank you for each and everything that you have done for us thus far, Father, and what you're about to do. I pray to you that as you're about to do this evening service, I pray that you'll be with us. Send your Holy Spirit to give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Just guide us, Father, we pray. I pray that you allow ourselves to be dead, and whatever is said will be said from you, through me, be beneficial to each and every one of us here. In your Son, Yeshua's name. Hallelujah. Now, the topic for this evening exhortation is overcoming our obstacles. So we know that the most common meaning of the word obstacle is something that is blocking our path. So I'm sure it's safe to say that each and every one of us in here, we have been in a situation or a circumstance where in our mind we're saying that, all right, yes, me, I got it. Or we're saying that we'd like to give up, but that shouldn't be for us saints, as saints of Almighty Yahweh, because we are on a journey, and we know that on this journey there are various obstacles that the devil will put in our path to try to intimidate us or to try to hinder us from continuing on the path that we're set on. So it's for us now to have the understanding that the devil is very tricky, so he'll try to put various obstacles, and these obstacles may come in different forms, like a sin or maybe a habit that we're trying to cut out, or maybe the loss of someone close to us. But it's for us to understand that whatever obstacle that may come our way will, once we depend on Father Yahweh, He will see us through. And we're reminded almost everywhere in the scriptures of this. For example, Philippians 4 verse 13, which says, I can do all things through Yeshua, who strengthens me. So I'd like for us just now to stand and we'll repeat this verse 3 times. So we'll stand and repeat Philippians 4 verse 13. We'll repeat it 3 times. So Philippians 4 verse 13. I can do all things through Yeshua, who strengthens me. I can do all things through Yeshua, who strengthens me. I can do all things through Yeshua, who strengthens me. Now turn your scriptures to 1 Samuel 17. So the scripture this evening is taken from 1 Samuel 17, and we're reading from verse 34 to 47. So that's 1 Samuel 17, reading from verse 34 to 47. 1 Samuel 17, reading from verse 34 to 47. And we'll read this alternately. So that's 1 Samuel 17, reading from verse 34 to 47. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock.
And I went out after him, and smote him, and delivered him out of his mouth. And when he was against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him.
Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living Elohim.
David said, moreover, Yahweh has delivered me out of all the lions, and out of all the bear. He will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go over, and they are with you.
And Saul armed David with his armor, and put an helmet of brass upon his head. Also he armed him with a coat of mail.
And David girded his sword upon his armor, and he was let go, for he had not moving. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not moved them. And David put them off.
And he took his staff in his hand, and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in a shepherd's bag which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine.
And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him.
And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and a ruddy, and of a fair countenance.
And the Philistine said unto David, am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his son.
And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field.
Then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of God, the Elohim of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied.
This day will Yahweh deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee, and take thine head from thee. And I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth. And all the earth may know that there is an Elohim in Israel. And all his assembly shall know that Yahweh saveth, God with sword and spear. But battle is Yahweh, and he will give him into our hands. So now this scripture, we all know the scripture of David and Goliath. So this scripture relates to us as believers in Almighty Yahweh, because sooner or later we may find ourselves with a Goliath-like obstacle. And if we will find ourselves a Goliath-like obstacle, and we may become filled with fear. We tend to become filled with fear, and we start to feel as though we feel defeated before we even start to try to face the obstacle. And then we wonder, like, how we're going to face the obstacle, and how is it possible to face it? But we should always try to remember, like in those times when we find ourselves with an obstacle, we should remember what we're learning now, that we should mirror Yeshua. Because Yeshua too, he went through various trials and tribulations and testings, and he had faith in Almighty Yahweh. So that can be for us also. That can be an aspect of Yeshua that we can reflect. We should try to have more faith in Almighty Yahweh when these obstacles come upon us. And when we have faith in Him, He will give us the courage and the confidence to go through this obstacle, whatever obstacle we're facing. And we can also look on the perspective of Goliath, because even though Goliath was so big, in his case, David was an obstacle to him also. And it just goes to show that how we face an obstacle determines the outcome. Because David, how he faced this obstacle, he believed not in himself, but he believed in Almighty Yahweh, and he had faith in Almighty Yahweh. But Goliath, he was puffed up, and he was proud, and he wasn't reflecting Yeshua at all, and he ended up dead. So that should be an example to those believers, that we should continue to mirror Yeshua. And when we mirror Yeshua, whatever obstacle or trials or temptations that may come our way, Father Yahweh said in His scriptures, He promises us that He will see us through. And that is what I have to offer. Now, to end, I'd like for us just to stand once more, and we'll sing a song. When we stand, we will know the song. We'll sing Shackled by Everybody.
He touched me. Oh, He touched me. And
To end our evening's exhortation, I'd just like to ask Sister Gallimore to lead us to the throne of grace, after which will be the Apostles' Prayer and the last verse of the psalm. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Hallelujah. Let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O Yahweh, our strength and our redeemer. No.
We praise Father Yahweh for his words that were voiced by our young brother here. We just ask Father Yahweh to continue to keep each and every one of us. Let me ask a question. Do you believe that Father Yahweh can laugh?
Yes.
You don't think Father Yahweh laugh?
Of course.
You never seen the scripture where he say, I laugh at you or whatever? Yes. He has a sense of humor. And sometimes, then if he did not, remember he made us after his likeness and image, you know?
Yes.
We don't have a sense of humor. We don't laugh at things. Alright. Okay, so we're going to stand up and laugh now. Make a fool of ourselves. You know the laughing song? Alright, well if you don't know the laughing song, I'm going to learn it here. No, I'm not going to look here. You're not going to laugh like no, but alright. Those of us who know it, let's go. Ho, 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 Hosanna, hallelujah. He saved me, and got the joy of your way. Look here, what's that about that? Come on there. So you know we're gonna ho, hey, alright, let's go now. Ready? Whoa, 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 Hosanna, come on, we need to keep it alive. And the country got the joy. I got the joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I got the joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. You say, and I know. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh. Now, because you are happy and you're giving thanks, what do you think it's time for now? Oh, yes. So please, all of you don't just run up here and bounce me over, but I need to see you coming up. Thanksgiving time. Let us say to each other what the Yahweh has done. And as we always say, yes, we truly know He giveth food, shelter, and clothing. So try with something that you can really be specific what Father Yahweh has done. Are we ready? Who is coming up? Should I take it by the age group? Yes. So let's go with the 7 to 10.
Greetings. I thank Father for waking me up this morning to see another Sabbath day. And for this year camp, Father, I just want Him to bring me here again next year. And the others who didn't make it to this year camp, Father. And that's my testimony.
Greetings. I thank Father for food, shelter, and guidance. I thank Father for my mother and my daddy. I thank Father for everything what He's done for me.
Greetings. I thank you, Father, for food, shelter. I thank you, Father, for waking me up this morning. I thank you, Father, for food and water. And family. I'm thankful for all of us, and that's all I can say.
Greetings. I thank you for my mother, father, my sister, food, shelter, clothing, and my friends, and family. I thank you for the family. I thank you for life, food, shelter, clothing. I thank you for Vivian and Daniel. I thank you for my family. I thank you for making me well because I didn't feel good this morning. I thank you for everything. Thank you for the Thank you, Father, for being here to serve us somebody. Thank you, Father, for everything. Thank you, Father, for my cause.
Greetings. Yes, Father, for mother,
father, my uncle, and my family. Thank you, Father, for everything you have done.
Greetings.
I thank Father for my family. I thank Father for waking up me this morning, bringing carry us through. I thank Father for everything.
Next group.
Greetings. Like to thank Father for sparing my life to see another Sabbath day, for giving me the opportunity to be at Camp 2019 for my mother, although I miss her, but I hope that she's okay, but she'll be with me and my brother for a couple of days. So I thank Father for everything he has done for me.
I'm thankful for your children, good. Thank you for letting us see seven days of camp. I'm thankful for Camp 29. I'm thankful for my family, church family. I'm thankful for everyone. Greetings. I'm thankful for the carried me to camp safely this year. I'm thanking him for seeing me nice. I'm thanking him for my church family. I'm thanking him for sending his son for life. Thank you, Father.
Greetings. I'm thanking Father for life. I'm thanking Father for today. I'm thanking Father for guidance and protection through the week. And I'm thanking him for my family, my friends, and I hope that I am marrying a short this year so I can get better.
Thank Father for foolish and chosen and my family and my church. Thank you for fire, for life. Thank you for letting and not to thank me to carry me through the camp.
Greetings, I thank God for wisdom and understanding. Thank you for life, strength, my family, and everybody.
Greetings, I want to thank you for life, for helping us, for allowing us to be at camp this year. Thank you for sending the water. I want to thank you for everything.
Greetings. I thank Father for sparing my life to see this another Sabbath day, for carrying me to youth camp 2019 safely. And this week we have been learning about one year lesson. It's very natural, and I hope that I can do it. And I thank you for my family and everything that he has bestowed upon me. I thank you for helping me to do good in my schoolwork, and I thank you for everything you have done.
Greetings. I'm thanking Father for waking me up this morning, for being present at Camp 2019. I thank Father for each and every person who could make it, especially for the chefs. The water.
Greetings. First, I want to thank Almighty for waking this morning to see another Sabbath day, for chilling and energy. And I'm asking Father Yahweh because there were no water it was last night, yes, and I'm asking giving Father Yahweh thanks that we could bathe this morning. And I don't want to go home, but I have to leave one day. C6 was at home yesterday. But I have faith, and I know because I have no choice. But I did my best, so I'm happy for the day with me, not very special. Thank you for carrying me through the week safely, and we start Tuesday about Marina, she was taking on his characteristic. And I'm happy for them that we must leave with not only doing it in there when we go back home, we go back to the same person, that we must bring it with us, and so when we go there, the person can see some changes in you and everything, and that's it. I'm thankful for them for everything, and this is me.
Greetings. I'm thanking Father for and Tony. Thank you for Kim, the holidays and work that I've been doing. Yes, I've been doing work. I'm a man now. Thank you, Father, for all of those things. And thank you for everything that we do.
I wasn't feeling so good yesterday, but I'm fine now, and I'm happy and I think
I spend my life to see another day. I'm thanking for prayer my life to come to camp for the first time. And I'm thanking for food, shelter, clothing, and hoping that I make it to camp 2020.
Greetings, everyone. I'm thanking you all for it's great now that to see another year of camp. It has been a memorable one, and I enjoyed myself. I am grateful for the community and how much we have interacted and our classes and how much we have learned. I'm thankful for everything that has done for me.
Greetings once more. I'm also giving Father our thanks and praise for all that He has done for me thus far, from waking me up each morning throughout the week, from helping me to understand the lessons. As Carla said, they were very interactive and informative. I learned a lot, and just giving Father thanks for that, and I also thank Him for having helped me throughout my exams. As even said, the results are out for CSEC and CAPE, and I just want to ask Father Yahweh to give me a very special way because I did try my best, and to go back to school, there are certain subjects that we have to pass, and one of them is communication studies, and it's a really very hard subject for me because it's a lot of interpretation. So before we came up on the break, I went to the teacher and I was asking her, how are the SBAs? We have some IAs, internal assessments that we have to complete that will be added to our grade. So I was asking her how were my grades, and said I got one of the highest scores, I would say. Continue giving Father thanks and praise, because once we continue having faith in Almighty Yahweh, as I said before, He will always work things out. So we should just not give up hope, because Father will always say so.
Greetings. And I thank you for life, for health, for allowing me to be on camp 2019. And I thank Him for carrying me through a year of hills and bushes. And cold air. I thank him for allowing me to see everybody again. Because you go see everybody again. And the journey that we go is uncomfortable in our lives. So I'm thanking him for sparing my life again. I'm thanking him for what I've learned in the classes, for wearing a shoe and reflecting his characteristics. I want to thank him for
Greetings. I would like to thank Father Yahweh for the basic necessities that He has provided for me to survive. I would like to thank Him for allowing me to be here at camp for the first time in 2 years. I'm back, and I must say I did miss camp.
Yes, man, come on.
And I enjoy the classes and the activities and the whole building your faith to be closer to Yeshua. I enjoyed it, and it is well remembered and accepted. I would like to thank him for the theme of camp this year, wearing Yeshua, and the question that we must ask ourselves, would Yeshua do this? Because throughout my stay here at camp, I have found myself asking that question, would Yeshua do this? Especially when negative emotions arise. Like, I find myself, before I blow up, I find myself asking, would Yeshua do this? And then I just calm down, and I just move on. And I would like to thank Father Yahweh for the self-control that I am building for myself.
I thank you for the summer camp being together again. I really like it as my favorite camp. It really helped me a lot. It helped me to fix my behavior, everything. It really changed my life. And I'm so glad to be here like 2 times. And I like the classes, the role play, the fun and everything, the food. And I thank you to put me here and help me to be safe.
Greetings, sir. So I want to thank Yahweh for everything, both the good and the bad, because for everything it helps that we go through, it helps us in becoming better versions of ourselves and better people of tomorrow. I am very thankful for this week, especially for being here and to enjoy such a wonderful camp with everyone, meeting all you wonderful people.
I'm thankful Father Yahweh to be here. It's been a good experience. I'm grateful for the classic discussions that I can talk to anybody around me about certain things, biblical things. And then I'm thankful for the roof over my head, the food my mother makes for me in the morning. For the clothes on my back, for the shoes I'm not wearing. I'm really thankful for Father Yahweh to give me the parents I have, because I'm a real mess. I forget things, and without them, I wouldn't be the person I wouldn't have the achievements that I have. And if they didn't push me, I surely would not be in the position. I'm thankful for I did C-Tech Max this year. I'm thankful that when I came onto that exam, I didn't feel like I had failed. I felt all these people were panicking and they were like distraught, crying, and all these things because
they said, what am I going to tell my parents? What am I going to say to my mother? And I told my mother how I felt. I told her I didn't answer some things. I told her that I wasn't sure. And she said it was fine. And she said it's okay. And you, as long as you did your best. And as long as you prayed, you will be fine. So yeah.
Praise Yahweh. Wonderful testimony. Those are testimonies. I feel them. You speak from the heart, and that is what we are called to do. And you know, I'm just here sitting and I'm looking at especially the senior group. And by Yahweh's will, He keeps us all here. Some of them are not there. They're not getting old. Right? Yes, I know it might be sad for some of you, but just as how we had some junior counselors, we hope that you would have been groomed enough that you might come back as junior counselors. And as I'm on this, I just want to just mention 3 of our junior counselors. They're not here with us this year, but Father Yahweh continues to keep them where they are because of circumstances. We have Sister Colleen, we have Sister Chanel, Sister Raphaelia, Sister Janelle, right? They're not with us this year, but oh mercy, Uncle Max. That is not junior, it's senior, but we miss them all, but we pray Father Yahweh will continue to keep them and be with them. So youths, we thank you for your testimonies, your thanksgiving to Father Yahweh for what He has done for you, what He's doing, and I'm sure as long as we continue on the path, what He will do, because Father Yahweh has so much in store for you. But you just need to live up to the expectation. You just need to walk. You just need to obey. And trust me. Trust me. I said this the other day, this song, when it talk about blessings around me down, yes, it will be there. Father Yahweh will continue to bless you. So you just need to continue to walk in His way. And He will do what He will do for you. Praise Father Yahweh. So now we are coming down to the items that you will be offering. And I always try to remind you that, yes, you might have fun in doing what you're doing, but remember what the chief goal is when you come to give your items. You're showing how Father Yahweh has blessed you, whether in the talents that show singing, acting, reading, whatever it is that you come to offer. It's a blessing that Father Yahweh has given unto you. And so we needed to display it coming straight from the heart. So, in this order, we will have Samson first, then we will have David, and then Daniel. So please come forward, Samson.
Lean on me when you're not strong. not be afraid. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. If we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be afraid. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please follow your path. If I have faith, you need to follow. No one can feel the love of my that you forget you. So just call on a brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. As my father that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be okay. I'll have you carry on far. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. All I'm gonna need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. My brother, and you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be okay. I will you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Somebody to lean on.
Greetings.
Yahweh is good, Yahweh is great. Send Yeshua, take your place. Yahweh is good, Yahweh is great. Send Yeshua, take your place. He was humble, kind, ever faithful, grateful, even unto death. He was humble, kind, ever faithful, grateful, even unto death.
Like a lamb to a slaughter, he held his peace, but just with one snapping could have caused things to cease, But he never did.
He never leaves.
Yahweh is good,
Yahweh is great. Send Yeshua, take your place. Yahweh is good, Yahweh is great. Send Yeshua, take your place.
come down from heaven, come from above, down to us because of this. We never want with you there.
Never want with you there.
Yahweh is good,
Yahweh is great. Send Yeshua, take your place. Yahweh is good, Yahweh is great. Send Yeshua, take your place.
Send Yeshua,
Take your place. Send Yeshua, take your place.
over like a mirror. Reflecting Yeshua is what we must do. Yeshua is our Messiah. We know say him do what him do. Save you, him. You save me, he save you. What him do? Save me, save you. What him do? Save me, save you. What him do? Save me, save you. Yahweh is good, Yahweh is great. Say Yeshua, please take the place. Yahweh is good, Yahweh is great. Say Yeshua, please. He came down to set the example, teach us what we must do. And save you, and save me. And save me, and save me. And save me, and save me. And save me, and save me. Now save yourself and mirror Yeshua in all that you do.
Greetings, everyone.
Take me to the King. Truth is, I'm tired. Options are few. I'm trying to pray, but where are you? I'm on church now, I can't pray. What's there to do? Truth is, I'm weak. No strength to fight. No tears to cry. Even if I try. But still my soul refuses. One touch will change my life. Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart's torn in pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the throne. Lead me there alone. To gaze upon your glory and sing to you this song. Take me to the King. Truth is, it's time to stop playing these games. We need a word for the people's sake. Let us be right now. Oh yeah, what is love? What chasing after you? Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the throne and leave me there alone to gaze upon your glory and sing to the song. Please take me to the King. Take me to the King. Don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the door. Leave me there alone to gaze upon your glory and sing to you this song. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering. Lay me
All right, thank you very much. But I'm also asking that we. All right. When I mentioned I'm sitting here, I'm gonna say, "Oh my word," and I forgot one of our other junior counselors, and I said to myself, "How could I?" And then I remembered Brother Darian. He was a junior counselor also when I forgot him. So that's another junior counselor that is missing this year. All right, so we give thanks for the contributions that just came up. Wonderful sounding voices, wonderful talents being displayed. We're now going to be having our quiz, and this will be done by Sister Tracy.
Said, I'll be doing it goes to the campers or the youth. If they can't answer, then the adults can fill in. Okay? Yes. All right. Reason why I'm slipping, I was at tears down there when they were singing. Just touch me. All right, here goes. The first question. Where was Yeshua born?
Bethlehem.
Correct.
Huh? Oh, that one next to me.
You can answer if you don't hear the serpent. Near the serpent's pool. What? Okay, let's move on to the next question. How many apostles? 12. Yasmin, 12. All right. That's wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
It is correct. 7. We're going with 12. What is the name of the disciple who betrayed Yeshua? Kristen?
Judas.
Judas
Iscariot.
Correct. Okay. So precise. How did Yeshua die? Yasmin. Correct. He was crucified.
It was sacrifice. Sorry.
Sacrifice.
Yes.
Okay. We don't use crucify, right? Thank you, TJ. Who gave Yeshua gifts when he was born? Carly. Correct. No, sorry. Oh. Next question. Who are the religious leaders who continually tried to trap Yeshua with their questions? Yasmin. Okay, the Pharisees, correct. Who wrote many of the letters to churches in the New Testament? What is the collective name of the stories Yeshua told? TJ. Wow, some bright scholars here. Who wanted to kill Yeshua when he was a baby? Jaden.
King Herod.
Thank you. What did the Holy Spirit look like when the disciples received it? Kristen?
Fire. Wrong. Wala. This is a dog.
How much of it is not correct?
Oh, Cloven tongue of fire.
Correct, tongues of fire. Yes. Who went to minister?
Yeshua.
Kalje? Saul, correct. How did Saul escape from Damascus? Kalje? I'm not hearing. No, the abandoned. Correct. The basket down the city wall. Why does Cain kill his brother Abel? Jasmine? Huh?
Because his sacrifice was accepted. Because his brother's sacrifice was accepted and
Accepted by who? Correct. How does Jacob steal his brother Esau's inheritance rights? Melissa?
betrayed me for me.
Oh, sorry, hold on one second. What did you say, Pastor? Okay. So how does Jacob bought his brother Esau's inheritance? With? No. No.
And straight away here,
Jaden?
I believe the answer is lentils.
No. Jasmine? No one listen. I'm not having that here.
What's the question?
Okay.
Youth. There's a youth.
Alright, I'm going to repeat the question and then if not, Uncle Richard can answer, right? It says here, how does Jacob bought his brother Esau's inheritance rights? Uncle Richard? Jaden?
Right.
He tricked his father by behaving as if he was his father. This guy
Okay.
using old skin.
Right, right. Okay, right. And I'm going to give it up. He tricked his father with the help of his mama. So he has to go to school.
No, but before that, remember Esau showed him with the food and he came in and was hungry. And from there, so he sent it. From there, so he said, you can have it, just give me the food.
Yes.
That's going to the answer that I have here. From which catastrophe does Joseph save Egypt? TJ. Thank you. How does Yahweh first appear to Moses? Jaden.
In a tree that was burning but wasn't burned. It's like a burning bush. Burning bush.
Thank you, Kristen.
In a tree that was burning but wasn't burned.
What object that Yahweh gave Moses, allow him to perform signs and wonders? Jordan? Oh? A rod?
That's wrong.
Okay. What does Yahweh feed the Israelites in the desert? Let me see, somebody hasn't answered yet. I'm having the middle row here, there, over there. Repeat the question for you.
Yes, Miss G.
It says, what does Yahweh feed the Israelites in the desert? What did you say? Yes, correct. Not at the same time.
No, but at first it was one and then it started to complain.
Yes. Okay. What does Moses break? Sorry. Why does Moses break the stone tables inscribed with Yahweh's commandments at Mount Sinai? TJ?
Because when he came and the children of Israel were worshiping an idol, so he was upset.
He was worshiping a golden cow.
The golden idol. Thank you. Who betrays Samson to the Philistines? Ashina. Delilah. Correct. Rebuke David. Which festival results from the events in Esther? Jaden. Huh? Oh, Yasmin? No. Melissa? Your hand was up? Anybody else? Wrong.
No, no.
Wrong.
Tabernacle.
Wrong. Any others want to know them? No, wrong. Wrong. No.
Is that what what festival? Is that what the orange? Ramadan.
No. Because you want to help them? Good, correct. Yes. Purim. Looking for a wife for Isaac, Abraham's servant found. Jamarino. Yeah, it was Yes. Last one. Jacob arrived to work 7 years for the hand of
Rachel.
Go, Jaden.
Rachel.
Correct. That's the end of the quiz. I have to
Thanks. All right, so your memories are working somewhat. So it's good to know the scriptures. It personally benefits you and it will benefit others. Then you can share the word. We're now going to be listening to an inspirational story. This will be done by Sister Beckford. And following that, we'll be having words of encouragement. And this will be brought to us by our visiting sister, Sister Taylor. So Sister Beckford, inspirational story.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. The title of the inspirational service is The Son, and the author is unknown. A wealthy man and his son loved to collect rare works of art. They had everything in their collection, from Picasso to Raphael. They would often sit together and admire the great work of art. When the Vietnam conflict broke out, the son went to war. He was very courageous and died in battle while rescuing another soldier. The father was notified and grieved deeply for his only son. About a month later, just before Christmas, there was a knock at the door. A young man stood at the door with a large package in his hands. He said, "Sir, you don't know me, but I am the soldier for whom your son gave his life. He saved many lives that day, and he was carrying me to safety when a bullet struck him in the heart, and he died instantly. He often talked about you and your love for Hart." The young man held out his package. "I know this isn't much. I'm not really a great artist, but I think your son would have wanted you to have this." The father opened the package. It was a portrait of his son, painted by the young man. He stared in awe at the way the soldier had captured the personality of the son in the painting. The father was so drawn to the eyes that his own eyes welled up in tears. He thanked the young man and offered to pay him for the portrait. "Oh no, sir, I could never repay what your son did for me. It's a gift." The father hung the portrait over his mantel. Every time visitors came to his home, he took them to see the portrait of his son before he showed them any of the other great works he had collected. The man died a few months later. There was to be a great auction of his paintings. Many influential people gathered, excited over seeing the great paintings and having an opportunity to purchase one of their collection. On the platform sat the painting of the son. The auctioneer pounded his gavel. "We will start the bidding with this portrait of the son. Who will bid for this painting?" There was silence. Then a voice in the back of the room shouted, "We want to see the famous paintings. Stick this one." But the auctioneer persisted. "Will someone bid for this painting? Who will start the bidding? $100? $200? Another voice shouted angrily, "We didn't come here to see this painting. We came to see Van Gogh and Rembrandt and property. Get on with the real bids." But still the auctioneer continued, the son, who will take the son?" Finally, a voice came from the very back of the room. It was the longtime gardener of the man and his son. "I'll give $10 for the painting." Being a poor man, it was all that he could afford. "We have $10. Who will bid $20? Give it to him for $10. Let's see the masters. $10 is the bid. Won't someone bid $20? The crowd was becoming angry. They didn't want to see the painting of the son. They wanted a more worthy investment for their collections. The auctioneer pounded the gavel. Going once, twice, sold for $10. A man sitting on the second row shouted, "Now, let's get on with the collection." The auctioneer laid down his gavel. "I'm sorry, the auction is over. When I was called to conduct this auction, I was told of a secret stipulation in the will. I was not allowed to reveal that stipulation until this time. Only the painting of the son would be auctioned. Whoever bought that painting would inherit the entire estate, including the paintings. The man who took the son gets everything." Yahweh gave his son 2,000 years ago to die on a cruel tree. Much like the auctioneer, his message today is, the son, who will take the son.
Thank you so much. Really food for thought. Really food for thought. Sometimes we're looking at the, for want of a better word, the bigger picture. And sometimes it's the little things that really, really matter. So we need to take up the son who is Yeshua, and we need to travel on with him because he's going to lead us into life everlasting. So now, we are going to be having the words of encouragement, and we're going to listen keenly, because sometimes in our life we're going to remember, if you have been at camp or even youth Sabbaths, and you have persons coming with your words of encouragement, there is something that should stick. And as you grow, and you remember, remember when we were at camp and somebody came and gave us some encouraging words, and it has helped me along my life's journey. So we're going to be listening now to words of encouragement because we all need this as we travel on. So Sister Frenchie, we're asking you to come forward, please.
Greetings, everyone. My voice is a little bit hoarse because I'm tired. When I don't get enough sleep, this is what happens. Nonetheless, I'm here and I'm happy to be here. When I came in today and I listened to everything that transpired, I was really blessed and overwhelmed to know that everywhere you go, there are a set of people that call upon the name of Yahweh. And it's always my pleasure to see young people, congregating like this, having the desire to worship Yahweh, to serve Yahweh amidst the struggles. Do you have struggles? Young people, do you have struggles?
Yes.
All right. Now, we all have struggles, and the fact that you are here is that you are victorious. You've been victorious, that's why you're here. Up until this morning when you came into this place, I'm sure you had struggles. I'm sure there was probably a battle going on between you. But then when you stepped into this place, then Yahweh's presence was here. And because of that, you are victorious. So therefore, the devil has no say on you. And you need to believe it, that the devil has no say on you. He doesn't have a hold on your life. He may want to tell you that he has a hold on your life, but he doesn't have it. One person who is stronger than the devil, who is that person?
Yahweh.
Let me hear you more vibrant, man. One person who is stronger than the devil, who is that person?
Yahweh.
And that person is living inside of you. And it says, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Do you believe it? Yes. Do you believe it?
Yes.
Alrighty, I'm just going to share for a few minutes. Because the theme is mirroring Yeshua. And let the light of Yeshua, the beauty of Yeshua be seen in you. But I was reading something just this week in my Bible reading. And it's in 2 Corinthians, I think it's 5, verse 20. Yes, 2 Corinthians 5, verse 20, that was on August 30. And just a clause there, it says, we are ambassadors for Messiah. We are ambassadors for Messiah. And I'm sure you all know who is an ambassador. Who is an ambassador? Anybody knows? Who is an ambassador? All right, in Jamaica we have people who go to different countries. Who's an ambassador to represent your country. So therefore you have to know everything about your country in order for you to actually go and talk about your country, in quotations, sell your country. So that's an ambassador, and that ambassador has to be so peculiar, because that ambassador cannot actually adopt the principles of the other country, because that ambassador does not belong there. And I just want to share just something on my life, where Yahweh has taken me from and while here. I got saved when I was 8 years old. Got baptized when I was 8 years old. I'm sure Haley probably have heard it, and Eric just over your ears, and Chanel. But I'd like to tell my story, because at 8, who is 8 in here? No 8-year-old? 9? All right, so I was just 1 year younger than you when I got saved, actually got baptized. No, my mother was saved and my father wasn't. But my family, they were all saved and grew up in the church. I would say I was born in the church. Anybody can tell me that you were born in here. So therefore, I knew nothing about the world. I didn't go to party, never been to a party. I've never been to a dance, I've never gone to places out there. But I have no regrets. And when I got saved at 8 years old, I struggled because being like you here, 8 or 9, it's like, you're still young and you don't know what to do and all of that. But one thing was in my heart, is that I wanted to serve Yahweh. And because I wanted to serve Yahweh, I told myself that nothing is going to prevent me from serving Yahweh. And I went on until I was 14. Although I was saved at age 8, I got converted at age 14. That's the difference. Anybody can tell me the difference? Being saved and being converted. Can you talk back to me? Have you ever considered that? You can say you're saved, but you still keep doing things. Same old thing. And this minute you're up, this minute you're down. This minute you come to camp and you want to serve Yahweh and you're up there. But the minute you leave, it's like you're back down there. And you keep wondering, what's happening to me? Why can't my life just go as though, I really want it to go? But being converted is actually changing from one thing to something else. If I have that chair and I want to convert it into a stool, I have to cut off things of it. I have to change it, and it is no longer a chair. It is a stool, and it cannot be turned into a chair anymore. And I remember when I was 14 years old and going to school, and my sister, one of my eldest sisters, she decided that she wants me to come there to live with her because my mother was very stern, my mother religious and all of that. And being 14, yes, I wanted a little, loosening up and little space and stuff like those. And I said yes, and she took me for the holiday. But I did not know what Yahweh had in store for me, because yes, my life was there before me, and I said, wow, this is it. No more my mother's house, no more this, thing over me, you have to do this, that. And my sister was strict the same, but not as my mother, and she was not safe, so that's it. But I remember one holiday, I was there in the house, and they were playing some music. I can't remember the song right now, but they were playing some reggae music and all of that. And I was upstairs ironing, and I knew it was Yahweh who spoke to me. And the voice said to me, Frenchie, my name is Frenchie, real name is Frenchie. Frenchie, you cannot serve me here. You cannot serve me here. And I looked around because it seemed like somebody, like a literal voice, but I knew it was Yahweh who said that to me. And I remember when my sister came home, I said to her, I'm leaving. I'm going back to my mother's house. She could not understand why I say I'm going. Yahweh says, you can't stay here if you want to serve me. I did not know what he had in store. But one thing I realized, and I did, was just to be obedient. Yes, I cried because I had to give up something. I had to give up something in order to serve him. And give up pleasure, give up my free life and all of that. And at that time, I thought it was like, that was the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. Young people, you ever reason like that? Talk back to me, man.
Yes.
You have to make decisions. And Miriam Yeshua, you have to make decisions. Your decisions are going to cut against Yahweh's will, rather. It's going to cut against your will. What you want to do, Yahweh's will is going to cut against it. You're going to cry. If you really, really want to serve Yahweh, you are going to shed many tears. Because you're going to see the person sitting beside you, going ahead, but Yahweh says, no, not you. I have a plan for you. And you're going to question and say, but Yahweh, this person, we're young and this person is doing the same thing. So why can't I? He's not going to tell you why. He's not going to tell you why. All he wants is consecration. Which you think other people are biased. The leaders are biased and Yahweh is biased and all of that. Because this person is doing this and I'm kind of being restricted. But let me tell you something. When Yahweh puts his hand on you, he puts it for good. He puts it for good. And he's going to hold you. He's going to hold you and nothing is going to take you from him. Yes, you're going to fall down because I fell many times. And it went on until I went back to my mommy's house. And when I was 25, it's like before that, it's like my life was like up and down. And one thing I compared my life was to a yo-yo. Flicks out and it comes back. And it flicks out and it comes back. And my life went like that for years. I go to the assembly, I go to church and it would feel good. I'd cry, I would sing, I'd be in the spirit. But as soon as I leave, my life went down like this. And I remember one day I said to Yahweh, I said, I'm kind of tired of it now. In order for you to follow Yahweh closer to know what Yahweh has in store for you, you have to have a desire that you want him more than anything else. I want you more than the very food I eat. I want you because my life depends on you. My life is not my own. And I remember when going on, and when I was 25, it's like I was saying, no. I was very stubborn. I mean, very, very extremely stubborn. You tell me to do this, and I'm going to tell you I'm not doing it. Because that was how it was. I was rebellious. And I remember those were the two things that were actually letting my life go down. Because once those things are there and they're from the devil, you can't really grow. You can't grow until you get rid of those. And this day in particular, I remember I said, Yahweh, I am tired of my life. My life is like a yo-yo. I go to church and, like your youth rally, youth camp, and you feel good and everything like that. And the minute you go home and like after a week or 2 weeks, you come back. Anybody can attest to that. And you keep wondering, what is happening? I mean, and you try to relive camp. But then after a few months, it's like your life going back again. And when you come to camp again to be recharged, or you come to youth service to be recharged, or whatever. But I remember I got very, very desperate. I teach. So I was teaching at an early childhood institution then. And I remember I said to Yahweh, made an appointment with him, and I said, look, I'm tired of my life right now. It's either do or die. I want to serve him, but my life just not making it. And I remember I said to him, it was on Monday, I'll never forget. I said to him, I'm going to make an appointment with you. And this is how I talk to Yahweh, like I'm talking to you. I'm going to make an appointment with you. And I said, when work ends at 2 o'clock, I'm going to go home, because my home, the school is in the church. Yeah. So I'm going to go home. And I said, I'm going to get in my room. And I'm going to go on that floor, and I'm not going to come out until you do something. That was how fed up I was with my spiritual life. And I remember 3 o'clock I went in, and I laid on the floor, and I said, Yahweh, you need to help me. And 7 o'clock, and I was still there. And I said, Yahweh, you need to help me. I am not leaving until you fix my life, because I'm tired of this yo-yo thing. Up this minute, down, up this minute. And 9 o'clock, I was still there. And I said, Yahweh, what are you doing? I said, you need to help me now, because I need you. I'm not leaving this room. So I went on, 11 o'clock, still down there. Because I said, look here, I'm not leaving. And I was in the room and I was saying, Yahweh, you need to help me. I'm not getting up. So if it's even 2 days I'm going to be in here, I'm going to let them know that I'm not going to work, because I need you now. And I remember when it was about 12 o'clock. I was there still. 12:30, I was there still. Nobody came to my door because I had a please do not disturb sign on my door. And probably they were wondering what's happening because I wasn't making any noise, but I was just there at 12:30. I was there on the floor. And I remember I said to Yahweh, I said, you need to help me now. And I said, look here, I'm desperate. If you don't help me now, I'm not going to make it. I am not going to make it. Lost, I'm going to make it. And I want you to listen to this part. Just then, and I want you to picture something. Have you ever seen a dry, thirsty ground? The drought is on. And look at a weed there, and you're pulling it up. And when you're pulling it, the earth is cracking, separating. Can you imagine that? You're pulling up something out there, but the earth is so dry, so parched. But you're pulling the thing and it's like it's cracking. You kind of hear the ground cracking. And I remember while I was there, I felt Yahweh like he's pulling something from my life, from my inside. And he was pulling, and I felt like, the roots, the roots spread all around. I felt like there was like, the roots were pulling from every side, everywhere inside of me. But I felt the tug, like pulling and like things cracking up and like the dirt cracking up because it was dry. And I remember when he pulled that thing out, because I was telling him, I said, I'm rebellious, I'm stubborn, I just want this out. And honestly, I felt when I was pulling and when everything, like a tree root came out of me. And just vision, when it comes, what's going to be left? What's going to be left? A hole there, just a space there. And I remember I said to Yahweh after that came out, I said to Yahweh, fill my life now with responsibility. Fill my life with you. Give me your spirit. Fill me now with your spirit so I do not matter things around me. My life is going to be geared towards you now. All I want is you. All I want to do is to work in your vineyard. I just want to work in your kingdom. I want to consecrate my life. And believe me, after I said that, you ever been very, very thirsty? And you go for a cold drink of water. And when you're drinking the water, it's like it's satiating your intake. You feel the coldness, like it's really going in and satiating your body, and it's like throwing, and you're drinking that water and you feel, wow, you feel the water just pouring like icy cold water. When I said that to Yahweh, I literally felt his spirit coming inside of me, and like it was like water on a dry, thirsty ground. A dry, thirsty land. Like it was so refreshing. I can't really explain it to you because everybody needs your own experience. But I'm just trying to share my experience. And let me tell you something. From that day, and that's years, over 20 years now, my life has never been the same. Never been the same. I'm not going to say I don't have problems. I wouldn't say I don't have problems, but there's one person who I've taken on, and I've taken Yahweh to be my life. And in order for you to mirror Yeshua, you have to take Yahweh as your life. You have no other life outside. And then from that day, Yahweh has been filling my life and meeting my needs and establishing me and making me grow. You asked me from those years to now, oh, I got you, I can't tell you. But all I know is Yahweh. All I know is Yahweh. I don't have a regret. There's no day that I have a regret in serving Yahweh. None. I find joy in serving Him. People may tell you, or your friends may tell you that, look here, church is boring. So you hear that all the time. You hear that, not true. It's boring. And then I say, you're young. You understand? And life is out there, so why are you in here and all of that? But let me tell you something. Everything that's in the world is just for a time. And I'm sure you know it. It's just for a time. It's a season. It shall pass. But when that passes, what are you going to be left with? The world is offering. What are you going to be left with when that passes? Nothing but emptiness. 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 And your life is going to be so far gone that it's only Yahweh can restore you. And you're going to miss all the years that you could have been in here and been established in Him. And my encouraging words to you this evening, it says, be an ambassador for Messiah. It says, you are one that is sent. It says, our citizenship is not here. We're passing through. This world doesn't belong to us. Everything here doesn't belong to us. We're passing through. And what we need not do is to latch on to things here. Young people, I know it is hard. Pressure is on. You get it on every side. You get it at work, those who go to work. You get it at school, those who go to school. Those who have unsafe parents and unsafe friends, you get it left, right, and center. The call is on out in the world for you to come and enjoy, because everything looks like a bling out there. And it's like, it's so attractive, you see them attractive, and you see young men going with the fashion and young ladies going with the fashion, and every day there's something. You look on your TV, every day there's some entertainment. Every day there's something that's appealing. But one thing I'm encouraging you to do is keep your eyes on Yeshua. Forsake everything. Tell yourself, I need you, Yeshua, more than everything else. And what I want you to tell yourself again is, look, Yeshua, you are my life. I tell Yahweh, I have no happiness outside of you. I said, you are my life. One of the things that you can do to actually mirror Yeshua and to imitate him and to be an ambassador is try and be active. Be active. Get involved in what Yahweh is doing. Get involved. Don't sit aside and watch. Get involved. Because when you are involved in what Yahweh is doing, you have no time for the devil. You have no time to be looking at other things. Your life is sold out to him. And not until your life is sold out to him, you're not going to actually make the grade that Yahweh wants you to make. And my encouraging word before I end is, Yahweh is not a disappointment. He's a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So you don't know what Yahweh has in store for you, but what you need to do is leave yourself pliable in his hand and say, Yahweh, use me. Take me, use me. Don't look at the next person beside you, because a work is there for every one of you. And you can't say at the end of the day, Yahweh, it was this person that caused me not to do what you want me to do. That person caused me to stumble. No, you have no excuse. There will be no excuse that we can actually give to Yahweh. So I want to encourage you, young people. Stop telling yourself that it's hard. Stop telling yourself that it's hard. Stop telling yourself that I'm struggling. Because guess what? When you say that, you're speaking negatively. And the devil is hearing you. The devil hears you when you say that. Yes, it's hard, and we know. But one person who is going to keep you is Yahweh. And every day, in order to mirror him, every day, read his words. Read his words. Job said, I esteem your word and my natural food and necessary food. Right? Try and go on your fasting. Go on your fasting. You don't have to wait for them to call you. Get up early in the mornings. Find some quiet moment. Just as you have breakfast, get your breakfast first. Heavenly word. That's the best breakfast. Because that's what is going to keep you nourished during the day. And in the evening, before you go to sleep, go back to the word. Read his word. Meditate on his word. Ask him to put songs in your heart. Ask him to keep you. Tell him, I don't want a wrong attitude to be in my mind. I don't want to have a wrong motive. Ask him, talk to him like I'm talking to you. You don't have to go and put another word in talking to Yahweh. All you need to do is just speak to him ordinarily. I say to him, Yahweh, what must I do now? Must I go there? That's it, you know. You're imitating him. Must I go there? Must I do this? I'm going on. Should I go to Montego Bay today? I'm going to eat. What must I eat? That's the relationship. That's the relationship I have with him. Should I go there? Should I do this? Should I call such a person? What must I say? This is the relationship you need to build with Yahweh. Consult him for everything. And I heard this morning, you're going to ask the question, would Yeshua have done that? Would he have done this? Before you speak, would Yeshua say that? And he's going to tell you no. And if he says no, don't fight it. Don't force it. So if you continue to force it, you're ignoring the spirit. And then you're not going to grow. And guess what? Yahweh wants all of you to grow. Love you. It was nice being here today. I enjoyed the fellowship today. Be an ambassador for Yahweh.
Was that a talk or wasn't a talk? It was a wonderful talk. You got so many tips. You got so many things. You got a testimony. A very powerful one. Christian was saying beside me that sounded like Job. Jacob, I will not leave until you bless me. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sister Frenchie. And Father Yahweh has his way of working out everything. That is how he is. He's such a great planner. And that's another example that we can take from him. So we thank you again, my sister, for those wonderful words of encouragement. We will be having now our last set of items coming from the youth. We have Daniel coming first, followed by Samson, and then David will close off. And after all that is finished, we will be having an item that will be done for wine for wine. So let's go with the other set of items. Daniel, it's your time.
Greetings. We'll be doing a short skit and it is adapted from the story of the Good Samaritan.
Such a beautiful day. It's actually been, I can't figure out for another day. Honey, honey.
Yes.
The cooler again.
I have no food at home.
Oh gosh, and this is ridiculous. And you know what? Nothing somebody that no go to her.
Alright, I'll be back here.
Alright, thanks.
The kid.
No man, I can't take this. You let me go to the door. I'm going to go back again. Oh Father, please have mercy on my Sir, hi sir. Sorry. I'm not feeling so well. And my wife has 6 children to back. I don't feel so well. Just please, I have $200. Just go down the road and get it. Please. Please, now I bless you. Father, please send somebody to help. I need it. Maybe. Alright. I'm not feeling so well. I'm very hungry. My family is hungry. And them just take my money, like all of them money they have. Out of the goodness of their heart, please help me.
Hallelujah.
Hold on. Sister Pat?
What's that?
Oh, Sister Pat. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Sister Pat. I'm very good at
So what does that do with me?
Sister Pat, family. I'm hungry.
You know, visit by your family, I tell you that.
Sister Pat. Church? You guys go to church? Yes. You go to church? Father, please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Send somebody, please.
Okay.
No, miss, I'm not feeling well at all.
How can I help you?
Me, my family, my wife, we're hungry. They just robbed me of my money and nobody sleeps once a dozen.
I don't have much, but
Thank you so much. God bless you. This is that testimony. God, thank you so much. Brethren, all here, our testimony. If it was not for Yahweh and Spanish book, brethren, I would not be here. You know what? I was hungry. My family, my 6 children, and my wife, we were hungry. And I went to a Sunday road, and I got beat up. They robbed me. Everybody walked past me. Everybody walked past me. But there was this one lady that assisted me. And I'm so grateful. Wait,
Hello, greetings. We are Samson will be presenting a short skit entitled The Modernized Version of Adam and Eve.
Oh, great. Fire and food. Oh no, no, don't get
Everything all good? All right, out there? All right. Just go finish reading the Bible.
Newsflash. Are no wonder they keep them hungry. Well, guess what? Can't feed them. Special 2-for-1 barbecue pork chop combo. Two small soda and one large fries. Only clutch it up, put it on. Carlos, don't be it. You know, say sure. Because it's feeling looking good. 1-800 lazy housewife.
No, I don't know how you love chat too. I'm telling you, no.
My name is John. What may I take your order?
Yes, I need something that just advertises. I'm not advertising and
Miss
something.
Condon, we have no stuff. You have to be specific.
I demand with the yellow shirt.
Oh, yes, we have that. You
Yes.
want it?
Yes. Pour them.
Oh, that would be $500.
Yes.
There is your name.
Akusa. Akusa.
Oh, Miss Akusta.
Yes. Akusa, Bill. You just have to turn the straight corner. And then there's a red house that's all over my place, but yeah.
Boss, where are you?
Don't question me. And then in the car you see a BMW bicycle. And then you will see an apple tree with an apple.
And what is a special tree?
Yes. Special.
Okay.
I'm telling you about this.
It's funny. Where's the food? I've been fasting from Monday and Friday. Why it's gonna kill me?
10 minutes later.
What is that?
Read one more chapter. Read one more chapter.
I surprised you would have to like for a long time. Okay,
We're going to that one button. It's so easy. Every time
You can't see anything out here.
You're behind the door.
KFC at the house. And then yesterday they come tell about them if you come and assembly. They want me to come sit down with them. After they invite me a feast, they want to come sit down and then not do right. No, sir. No, sir. It's like too much nice.
Oh, finish.
Miss come.
So ready?
Yes.
All right. What we eating?
Chicken.
Chicken? All right. I'll be there shortly.
You ready?
All right. So what is this?
A chicken.
This is not chicken.
A chicken.
What kind of song you can carry on my house? No, this is not chicken.
Why you acting like that?
This not like that. This is chicken? Chicken. I'm sure it's chicken don't look color. How can I chicken this?
It never cooked good.
Why not? What kind of song you carry on here?
You say we must fast on Monday. You're hungry. Christian, don't eat it.
Eating good for you.
Christian, don't eat
Tasty.
Christian,
You don't taste, you're not going to know it. Taste no.
You know, so I've been wanting to try that type of chicken. So, enjoy. I hope it goes away. Thank you. You're such a wonderful wife.
You see, it tastes good.
I do.
Drink some water. You're ready.
Oh, that. Oh, more food you buy for me?
Who is it?
I am angel of Yahweh.
I could start execution every day. Where we going?
Greetings. There were days when I feel the best of me is ready to begin. Then there are days when I feel like letting go and soaring on the wind. But I've learned in laughter and pain how to survive. I get on my knees. I get on my knees. Here I am before the love that changes me. See, I don't know how, but it's fine when I'm on my knees. I can be in a crowd or by myself or standing out. When I feel there's a need to talk with your heroes. I close my eyes, no darkness there. There's only light. I get on my knees. I get on my knees. Here I am before See, I don't know how, but this time when I'm on my knees. Ooh, I don't know how, but this time when I'm on my knees.
Once more, we thank Father Yahweh, what He has given unto us. Sometimes there is not even enough words to just express the blessings that Almighty Yahweh bestows, that He gives to us. And if we really look, we really take some time to think about it. As it was said, we would just live our lives just praising Him daily, because He really has favored us. He has. And we just want to honor Him, and we want to show Him, we want to tell Him how much we love and thank Him for what He has done and what He has blessed us with. He has not blessed us with things that we should be selfish with. He has blessed us so that we can bless others. And that is the whole trend. That is how it goes. So what He gives to us, we share. And I just give Him thanks for the family. For the family. You know, earlier this morning, I tried not to say it. I really tried not to say it. But earlier this morning, when the song was sung to close off inspirational service, Follow Me. And I was looking at all the youths, and I'm gonna say this. I remember a youth that was among us, but he's no more. And my heart just pierced me. Follow Yeshua. Follow Yeshua. Because we don't know. We don't know. But when He says, follow me, His voice is calling. He says, if thou wouldst worthy of me be, forsake thy nets. The nets are the things that we put up high, that it seems like it's hard to let go of. The things that we idolize, these are the things that we are called to forsake them, put them behind and follow Him. And it was even reiterated in the message that we got in the words of encouragement. Forsake the things that seems to be pulling us away from Father Yahweh and draw closer and closer to Him. So I give Him thanks. We give Him thanks for what He has done. We thank Him for the Sabbath day, and as we see it's coming to its adjourning moment, we thank Him for the blessings. So the final item that we'll be having will be from Y for Y. Youths for Yahweh. Let's go.
Can all the youths that were a part of the show come on stage, please?
Right.
See that? No.
Okay, greetings once more. We'll be doing one item that we did on our evening of praise fundraising, and this is called My Everything.
You're my everything, yeah. My everything is you, How can I express my gratitude? All the many things you got for me. But you're not enough to say thank you. No, you are. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude? For all the many things you got for me. Words are not enough to say thank you. You're my everything.
All right. And as you all know, that's one of the items that the youths presented in their 3 evening of praise events that were held from May up to July, because they saw it fit from the foundation angle that more youths needed to be at camp. And so they decided to put on these evening of praise, and funds to help to send the campers to camp this year. So let us put our hands together again for White Foundation. It was a wonderful initiative, and we give Father Yahweh thanks. We thank him. And so we realize that, you know, when these things happen, we see the different talents coming out in the areas, because we see those who can do little acting, and we see those who can do little comes down to giving honor and praise to Father Yahweh. So we thank him. We thank him. All honor, all praise is worthy. So we're coming down now to the releasing our closing hymn. And our closing hymn, Give of Your Best to the Savior.
Give up your best to the Savior. Give up your
Praise Yahweh. So you are called to give of your best. He says he calls upon the young men because they are strong. And so you need to give of your best to Father Yahweh while youth, life is in you. Let him use you for his glory and for his honor. Praise Yahweh. We're going to ask now Pastor to close off for us in prayer.
All your things around us. I say from you, Almighty Yahweh, as we give you thanks for all your love. We give you thanks for a lovely day spent here with you. I ask, O Father Yahweh, that powerful testimony that was given. I pray, O Father, that this day will be a day to be remembered in their lives. A day that they can look back at and say, yes, thanks for Camp 2019. Thanks for what was taught there. I pray, O Father Yahweh, that through this effort, jewels will be gathered for yourself. People will know you through these your children. I pray, O Father Yahweh, that you cause them not to fall from this path. Lead us, strengthen us. The lives of our children, and not only our children, but your people. Give us a mouth that cannot be stopped. Give us ideas, a mind that will always be thinking of you. Give us a humble heart that will listen to your word. I pray, O Father Yahweh, as you have kept us through this day, to keep us through the rest of our lives in safety. Although we know that we'll never be safe from the enemy, but you promise to protect us even in the time of our struggle. These are asking with the blotting out of our sins, remembering all your people wherever they are gathered, calling your name. I pray for those that have gone radical, that they will be humble, because we are all your people, because we all call you by your name, and we all wear your name appropriately. In the mouth, in the mighty name of Yeshua.
Let the words and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, Yahweh, for strength and for redeemer. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh. Excuse me. Where's the bottom? Excuse me, Sister Thompson. They'll be going up now, changing. What time do they have for dinner and what time does social begin?
7:30.
7:30?
Yes. At 7:30 at social, 7:30 at food.
Yes, so social is at 8:30.
Social at the next.
All right.
Yes.